Hi, this is Bishop Francis at Revels-Bey. The host, chief principal teacher, and founder of the Circle of Grace 1, founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence, which also gave birth to his own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance on February 7th, rather, of 2009. Well, I'm doing some random broadcasting, and I'm putting these things up so they show up on YouTube as well. Just a minute ago, I was talking about part 1 of part 2 on Numbers 8, 17, and 26, because the day is the 17th of August that I'm doing this, 2011. So I want to continue with this, just giving you some more information. I kind of hooked it up, the number 17, to the Major Arcana Tarot card called the Star card. And I gave a description of that card and gave you some information. In fact, I said that the number 17 was Aquarius. So if you're a person that connects with the tarot and you're using an astrological significance, the 17th trump card or major arcana card, you can attribute it to Aquarius, or has been used. Aquarius is the water barrier. And so you have a woman there, woman with 2 urns of water. One foot is firmly on the pool of water that she's pouring the water into, and her knee and foot is on the earth that she pours the other urn of water upon the earth. So she's cultivating the earth with her spirit. And she is the spirit of divinity. You might see she's the mother. She represents the divine mother giving unto the earth and unto the water. And I said in the background, on some of these cards, it shows a tree with apples. It may show a bird on the top. On some decks, they've had like a peacock, and there's the bird of destiny. So this is the destiny, the cycle of life itself. Okay, so you want to be aware of some of this information. Now, I'm going to be back on later this evening on Ustream.tv with live webcast number 148. And on 148, we go into some teachings of Decree and It Shall Be, because that's a part of the spiritual ministry, and as well as a part of the Spiritual Metaphysical Institute for the Circle of Grace 1. And so, without further ado, let me continue. I can now slow down the pace a little bit. This is August the 17th. This is Wednesday, August the 17th, 2011. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was the celebrated in many ways around the world. It should be a celebration of Marcus Garvey's birthday, August the 17th. For those of you who are Garveyites, welcome and congratulations in keeping Garvey alive in our consciousness. In fact, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who founded the Moorish Science Temple of America, said that Garvey was his forerunner. He put it that way. Okay, so I just want to lay out some of those things. That's not my forte now. At this point, my forte is releasing information that I received from the Angel of Grace and many of the Ascended Masters, such as Akhenaten, the Egyptian Pharaoh Master, Sananda, Saint Germain, the Angel of Grace, the Archangel Michael, Christ Michael, sometimes referred to, the Anointed, Michael the Anointed. I am God, so his name means. Mika Jail comes to me. Late Michael Jackson sometimes brings me information. He always talks about the children because he was childlike at heart, almost like had a spirit of a cherubim with him, always childlike. Very much misunderstood, and very missed by, as you see billions of people around the world talk about him any day of the week. And that means the person that made impact. Well, let's go on here. This is part 2 of 2, talking about the number 17 in its series 8, 17, and 26 for people who are born on that. Now, I mentioned, I want to let you know, too, here's another semblance of 17s, people with the number 17. There are some political people, or in the White House, who have 17. Mr. President, Barack Obama, he just had his birthday on August the 4th, right? And he turned 44 years of age, I believe. I believe he turned 44. I think that was his age. But anyway, if I'm not mistaken, our president there, he would not be, he's the 44th president. Let's put it that way. Maybe that's why. Well, forget that. just understand this. Spirit has kind of blocked me from talking on that. So his birthday was August the 4th, but his wife Michelle Obama is born January the 17th. And there's another well-known figure born January the 17th. That January 17th is Capricorn. So Capricorns work for humanity. Anything they're involved in is for the people. Now, there was a person that used the phrase for himself, I'm the people's champion, I'm the greatest, and that was Muhammad Ali, who's still around on the planet. Muhammad Ali, boxer, formerly known as Cassius Clay. Okay, born January 17th, during his time in Louisville, Kentucky, and he became an Olympic star, and then he projected even far greater with his ability to speak what was truth for him. And he went through some difficulty and came out on top. So he's always remembered as the people's champ. You know, to many of us who remember him, he was a world-class athlete and boxer, gold medalist, and went professional. So, and then later changed his name to Muhammad Ali. He's born July the 17th. So he has a good, strong energy. And we want to be aware of that. When you see that number 17, that means these people become stars in the life of humanity. Before the life of humanity, become stars. They score high. Now, they can reach the lowest depths of their nature and reach the highest heights of their nature, of their divine nature. So I want you to be aware of that. If you have children that are born on the 17th, you want to be aware that they could go to the highest heights in their life. They will be met with a lot of depression sometimes, a lot of anger will be thrown in their direction. Maybe people thinking they're being too haughty or being egotistical or being, just full of themselves, just so much. But what it is they're joyous. They're feeling great about themselves. They have something to offer to the world or to their family, to their neighborhoods, to their peers. 17 people can be very dramatic. 17 people. Now another 17 person that is well known is the basketball player, Michael Jordan. He's an Aquarian 17. He's born February the 17th. He was born over in Brooklyn, New York. His parents wound up in Chicago, and the rest was history. He was the top of his game. Turned that game around, like so many other athletes have turned it around. So the 17, we see it as a very powerful number. And this is also to tell you, too, when you see the number 7 engaged in a birthday number or a birth year, it pulls off. It makes that energy even stronger for the person who's walking that particular destiny, particular life. So if a person had an 8 destiny with a 17 or a 26 tied to it, that would mean for most of their life they would be struggling to gain recognition. They might be struggling in the beginning with finances or anything of a material level, but sooner or later they overcome it. So the nature that you have to know about 8, 17, and 26 is that 8 is here to overcome all forms of restrictions and limitations, hindrances and delays, and the 8 is dealing with power and authority, and the 8 vibration becomes more sovereign within itself. So whoever's carrying that as a destiny number, or which we call life path number, or as a calendar day birthday that they're born on, you might find them often talking about that. How can they become more sovereign within themselves, more self-sufficient, not ruled by any external forces? Likewise, if you see an 8 connected in a birthday, that means the person is able to deal with financial things. They become good business people. This is just an observation. This is one of the things that's so great about studying numerology or astrology or even palmistry. Studying numerology, astrology, or even palmistry. And I did a segment on palmistry not too long ago. When you study these things, you're looking at it like you're playing the role of skeptic, if you like, but you're being an observer. And then you're recording this into your consciousness of everything that you see, everything that you experience. People, parents, having children born on an 8, 17, or 26, you might want to be more aware of their friends. Now, they're carrying the 8. 8 is Saturn. Saturn is an old soul quality. So the nature of children born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th, understand this, parents. Your children will get along with people who are older than themselves. And their friends could be a few years older or 10 years older. Their mates, their spouses, their girlfriends, their boyfriends, their women and male friends that they date will be 4 or 5 years or 10 years older than themselves. Now, what's that? You got the cougar, as they say, dating the young one. Well, that means the cougar not only feels the energy of the younger person, but they feel the maturity of the younger person. That's what they're drawn to. They're drawn to that old soul nature. So you have a child that's born on the 8, the 17, or the 26. They've been around the cycle of living on this earth, in the universe, for a very long time. They remember. Now, to also let you know, there are other old soul qualities connected to the 8 in numbers, and I call it the trilogy of the old soul. What is the trilogy of the old soul? The trilogy of the old soul is the number 4, 7, and 8. 4, 7, and 8. That means children born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, and the 31st. Children born on the 7th, the 16th, and the 25th. Children born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th. These are all old soul vibrations. Even if they have those numbers in totality in their first name, if their first name has the 4, 7, or 8, they're going to attract older friends all the time. People are going to throw them into the seat of leadership all the time. They're almost going to feel like they're being thrown under that term, thrown under the bus by their co-workers or family members, because they've got the strength, they've got the armor, they're natural fighters, natural leaders. 7s are usually quieter with the leadership. 8s will step right out into it, right out in front. 4s will step right out into the front. Now, sometimes a 4 and an 8 personality doesn't necessarily get along. 7 and 8 may not necessarily get along because their energies will be in two different places. The 8 will be more outward in the public eye a lot. The 7 will have to push themselves to be more out into the public eye. 7 will want to work behind the scenes mainly. 8s will want to work out front. 8 people, 17 people, 26 people, they are working to help the underdog, those who are the meek, those who don't have anybody representing them. So you can look back and see them do that, uplift a lot. 7s, 16s, and 25s are working on the internal messages of themselves. And 4s, 13s, 22s, and 31s, most of them are like the 8s. What happens is the 4s are more of a do it by themselves, like 7. 4 is like 7. They go to, what's that old phrase? It was an old cliche. It says, march to the beat of a different drummer. In other words, they have their own mindset, how they go about doing something. 4s and 7s. 8s do it according to more like an organizational type of situation, more of a team. The 8s are the team players. And when 8 has a team, 8 leads when it has a team. Most 8s are gathering to get a team. That's Saturn and Capricorn, gathering to get a team. Aquarian, I don't need a team. I can do it by myself. 7, which is sort of like Neptunian Pisces, I can be with the group or I can be to myself. So 7 is like the axiom, the balancing point between the 4 and the 8. Between the Aquarian and the Capricorn is the Piscean. And look at that. Aquarian, Capricorn, Pisces. That's the winter time frame on the calendar. That's the old soul part of the calendar. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. That's what I want to bring to you. This is part 2 of 2. Thank you. This is Circle of Grace 1. Remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. Give me a call. Email me. check it out on my other site.